Now quiet down and gather round, all you cowpokes and buckaroos. I've got an ace-high story about a sheriff and the tariff that got all of Protectionville a-howlin'. Why, here comes the brave sheriff now. Looks like the town is still mad at him. Let me tell you why. It all started in Chuck's general store. There's Chuck now doing his counting for the week. You see, Chuck was in a bad box about his sugar cubes. His general store wasn't bringing in the bacon, and he was all balled up about the old peddler's wagon, right outside of town selling sugar cubes for a lot less. Everyone in Protectionville liked to sweeten them pretty ponies with lots of sugar cubes, but the town folk got their sugar cubes elsewhere, 'cause Chuck's just cost just a little too much for their liking. The sheriff and Chuck are good buddies, so Chuck talked to the sheriff about his dilemma. It's the cowboy way to listen to one another, and the sheriff, being Chuck's good friend, gave it some thought and gathered a town meeting. Everyone in Protectionville liked Chuck and his general store. They all agreed to uphold the policy of protectionism. Helping is the cowboy creed, and prohibiting outside sugar cubes seems like it would be the right thing to do to keep Chuck in business. But what the town and the sheriff didn't consider was that Chuck didn't have the comparative advantage to growing and making his sugar cubes. He had a hard time keeping up the demand of the townfolk, and he had to raise his sugar cube expense. Soon the price was much too high on Chuck's sugar cubes, and people didn't want to stick with the protectionism policy any more. People were going to the old peddler again, and the sheriff did what was necessary to help Chuck out and put a tariff on the sugar cubes coming from everywhere but the general store. Because it cost too much to fatten them pretty ponies, the big bugs didn't have enough chips to pay their hard hands. The townfolk were mad and blamed the sheriff for how thin their ponies were getting. So now you know why everyone in Protectionville is unsettled. You see, tariffs can be good in certain stores, but the sheriff didn't really think too much about this one. He didn't know that Chuck wasn't very good at making sugar cubes, and he didn't know that such a little tax would raise such a quarrel. So I'd like to tell you that this old saw had a blessed ending, but I won't be sticking around that long today. We'll just have to see what happens next time. Thanks all.